This part is different from the others we've done in that we're starting with a parasolid file that has no flange on it, or almost no flange. It's a pinch trim, and as you can see, it's also got features in the side of the part. So I've taken this parasolid file initially and modeled it so that we do have this small piece of flange on the part, and then saved it out as a parasolid. And here I'm adding the scrap trim ring. And this part gets this window or the mouse hole or whatever you want to call it cam trimmed from the side, coming down from an angle. Oops, I just turned my edge filter on. Turn that off. So we're modeling this because the scrap trim ring also ends up getting cut through when this cam punch comes through. We're modeling that on here as well. Awesome trimming features for working in a sketch in SolidWorks. And we'll go up to that point with the flange and do not merge the result. So we've got two bodies. And then we, whoops, I had the scrap ring highlighted. I need to change that. I want to delete the body of the main part. So this is the very last station of the die where we're cutting off the scrap. Add another configuration, and this will be the second last die, or the second last station in the die, hence 020. Naming the configurations so you know what they are. And we're gonna, the part is gonna stay at die level. It's getting run up. But when we pinch trim, the stretch webs and the scrap trim ring are going to get pushed down 100 thousandths beneath die level. So before this station, before it's pinch trimmed, it's not pinch trimmed. So we move it back up by suppressing the move body. And then we combine the two bodies into a single body. And so that's a pierce, the pierce hole station. Or the pierced mouse hole, I should say. So before the mouse hole is pierced, it's not. So it's a little bit tricky thinking about these configurations. And finally, once we're ready to run the round draw module, basically, when we've got the other things in the sidewalls done, etc., then this is the best way to do it. We start a sketch and use the intersection curve to intersect with the sidewall and the plane that the sketch is running through. Then we need to drag that point and offset the sketch material thickness, which is 15 thousandths. And then close up the lines, close up the ends, I should say, with lines. And then we're ready to do a revolve extrude, and we're not merging the result again. And then we're going to delete that body, the original body. So we are only allowed one revolve in the tree to run the round draw module. So, and again, running the round draw module is virtually instant. So we manually modeled those other stations, and then once we get to the round draw part of it, then we use the round draw module. And it, as you will see, knows to continue the configurations so that the configurations are all in order, as you can see. And we walk through the configurations. And we're ready to create the strip layout. And we don't use part preparation before strip starting. For those of you that have already been trained in Logopress, we give it a project number. Again, usually our job number. That'll get put in front of every file name in the die. And 3 stretch webs. And again, this part takes about a minute or so. Creating the assembly, creating the skeleton. So look, we're working around that scrap ring now, because the scrap ring ended up getting joined to the main part as the flange, bigger than the little teeny tiny flange that was on there for the pinch trim. And you can be creative how you want to model that at the bottom of the part for the pinch trim. And there's our strip layout. Now that doesn't look right. So we have to rotate that part in the strip. So we need to turn it 90 degrees. And then likewise, the stretch web needs to be turned 90 degrees or 60 degrees from where it is, so that when that cam trim punch comes in from up on an angle, it falls in between the stretch webs. So in station 10 there, you can see that's where we're putting in that mouse hole. And there's our strip. There you can see the scrap ring getting pushed down 100 thousandths. And of course the stretch webs would go along with it as well, but no need to model that. Thank you very much.